where to begin with such a rich diversity of filmmakers and stories. Let's start in Israel with two filmmakers, brother and sister. It's very unusual, Coen brothers, I guess, but then it's very unusual for siblings to work together. This is your third feature together. It's actually the third feature featuring the character of Viviane. You started in 2004 with a film called To Take a Wife. 2008, you followed that with Shiva, 7 Days. And now, 2013, Gett. Talk about the creation of Viviane Amsalem and her world. And how do you work together as a couple?
Hebrew or in English? What do you want?
You start.
So, actually, we had Ronit and I planned to work together for many years before we did To Take a Wife. And
who's older?
We don't discuss.
Who's him? How do you mean?
I'm the older brother of Ronit. She's my young sister.
It's not true.
Actually, I was carrying her, like putting
the pram.
Actually, I was waiting for him a long time because I wanted so much to work with him. So I'm the oldest.
You're never gonna know.
Well, I'm going
anyway,
down IMDb.
we were waiting for each other, and we met. We wanted to write a script, and our idea was that we sat down and we thought we were going to write a script maybe about a brother and a sister, a boy and a girl. But soon enough, we worked for a few days, and I met Ronit on the third day or fourth day, and she told me the story is not about this girl, it's not about this boy, it's about their mother. And the inspiration for the trilogy is our mother. So the first film was maybe closer to what we knew from our lives, but immediately after we finished it, we drifted away from our personal stories. We still stayed with the inspiration of our mothers throughout the trilogy, but we didn't. It's not really her story because our mother never stepped foot in court. So the third part would be like an imaginary biography of what would have happened if we took this couple that we followed for the last 12 years and poured their story into the Israeli law system. And Gett probably would be the result of that.
Or not.
Or not.
I mean, Gett, the word means the right to divorce.
Gett is the bill, is the paper that you get when you get a divorce.
Right. God, I feel bad for Viviane. She has a tough ride, doesn't she, in this painful, loveless marriage. Civil marriage and civil divorce don't exist in Israel. That's correct?
No, actually not.
So the only way to get a divorce is go in front of the
rabbinical court.
A rabbinical court like this with these ultra-Orthodox rabbis.
And all the power of the law is in the hand of the husband, the man. So she must wait till he accepts to liberate her or not. This is a story.
And it's set in 2 rooms, essentially the entire film. But I have to say, like a lot of the films here, it's one of the most gripping watches I've had this year, where you're just watching this intense battle in 2 small rooms for 2 hours. And it sort of puts those Hollywood blockbusters to shame because it's just as gripping and riveting as exciting. But it's just this wonderful character piece.
We finished, like many other directors, we finished the film a few days before we come to Cannes, and we shot it in the Kanzen. And we came to the screening, and actually it was a total surprise, because when Ronit and I wrote the script, and usually when we write together, we laugh a lot. But, at home writing, and we knew that we have a sort of a circus, because this court is an absurd place. But for sure, we didn't know how the the foreign audience will perceive the film. And we sat in Cannes for the first screening, and it was shocking. It was shocking because people reacted to the movie from the first frame. What was amazing is that people actually talked to the screen, because this woman wants to get a divorce, and she says yes, and the husband says no. And then you sit in this room for a couple of hours, and you're waiting for him to say yes. So every scene, you're waiting for him to say yes. So when the rabbi asked him, would you give her the divorce? After 10 minutes of film, you start to hear, yes. It's like, and when he says no, it's like, oh, it's like, and then, but the minute everything releases in the body and people hear that other people react, it is like a very noisy screening. To see Gett with a lot of people, it's a noisy screening because people talk to the screen, they're upset with him, they're upset with the rabbi, they would whistle, they would clap to Viviane when she says her, there was like, it's a very, I saw the other films with the audience, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 times, but Gett, I've seen with the audience maybe 100 times. It's always a different screening. It's always, every place is a different. So Cannes was like incredible for us. We were sitting together, we were holding hands, and we said, we were sure some of this stuff were going to pass over the radar of different people, but on the contrary, we felt like we were watching it with Israeli audience. And in Israel, that was like, Israel was a big, it was a big thing because in Israel, the film, of course, it's a cultural event, but 3 weeks into the showing, you couldn't get a ticket for a few weeks, but 3 weeks into the showing, it became like a huge political event. The film became like, the film itself became a political movement. The film started to change the way people think about women's rights in Israel.
You're speaking so good. No, so well in English.
But everybody wants to hear your voice.
No, my voice. One, one, two, two. I know.
Anyway,
Continue.
it was. What happened?
Will it affect change in the law, maybe?
What happened in Israel? Since the film was out, it's like on the news like every day, and the film started to go out. The film was sold to 30 countries, so every time it started to echo. This woman sits in court and she says, "I don't want to go back," and she whispers that, and the world hears it and respond, and the responses are echoing back to Israel, and all this, everything together. What happened like one month ago, the chief rabbi for Israel was asked, "Did you see Gett?" And he says, "I don't go to the cinema, so I didn't see Gett." So he didn't see Gett, and then he was repeatedly asked again and again, "Will you see Gett? Will you see Gett?" 2 days later, he came back to the journalist from the Haaretz, it's one of the newspapers, and he said, "I'm going to show Gett in the rabbinical annual convention, meaning we're going to have a screening with like 200 judge rabbis watching the rabbinical court
In the cinema.
My God.
from the first time from the point of view of a woman, which was something they never did, they never experienced. When I heard it, I was like, Sandrine Brauer, Ronit was in Israel, and Sandrine and I were here in LA, and I was like, I was screaming. Because imagine that in centuries, Jewish philosophers are trying to change the law. They're trying to change the law. They're trying to make some kind of inequity, and they did not succeed. And in Israeli history, different parties tried to change the law, and they could never bring the rabbis to the table. So this is the first time in Israeli history that rabbinical chief rabbis and judges are going to. They're coming to the table.
When is that screening taking place?
I think it takes place on the same date that the film opens in the US, February 13th.
Yeah, it's enormous. It's a huge event for thousands and thousands of women in Israel that's waiting for a chance to a change. So it's so difficult from so many women in Israel. So we hope that this film going to change something in the reality. Maybe it will be the first time. Maybe.
Ronit, what's it like directing a film in which you're giving such an impassioned and demanding performance?
Easy. It's
Easy.
Easy. It is very easy. No, it was. I mean, we did three films together. So in the beginning, the Take a Wife, it was very difficult for me because I had to run before and behind, and it was very difficult physically and mentally. And the second one. Okay, but the third one was really, easy because I'm in the shoes like about I'm working about this role more than 10 years, and actually we choose a language for the film that was really different, and that allowed me to just to take my time and to see everybody and to work with everybody. Maybe you explain better how we choose
The visual language.
the visual, yeah.
Visual
Because,
language. We
well,
chose not to take any director's shots because
Yeah.
we said we're going to eliminate all this the objectivity of the court that does not exist anyway, and so we just shot the whole film from
Point of view
different
of
point views
everybody.
the actors. So
Okay.
the camera was always situated at one of the actors' place. So sometimes it would take us like 3, 4, 5, 6 days to get to one of the actors before we.
so I had
finish
time
all the
to see
point of
everybody
views.
and to work with myself and everybody, of course. So it was very special, actually, shooting.
And you might make another film about Viviane. We hope so.
Another 5.
Exactly. Then 5.
5 more.
5 more.
But as writer-directors, what do you want to leave your audience with at the end of the film?
We really didn't know how to finish the film. We didn't have something. I mean, we knew that we want to give her the divorce, but then we had this scene, and Viviane promises she's buying freedom with freedom. She says, "All right, I'll never be with anyone else," and she give me. But our idea of the last scene was that's what everybody asks when they leave the cinema. They say, "Will Viviane keep her promise?" So what I say, people ask me, "Will Viviane be a faithful divorced woman?" Meaning, like, we continue to judge Viviane. The trial goes on, like women are being tried, whether it's in the court or in society or on the street, for what they wear, for what they do, for what kind of mothers they are, for what kind of wives they are. I mean, they're being measured and tried. We said the trial of Viviane Amsalem doesn't end when the film ends. We continue to question her loyalty, to question her everything. Yeah.
Well, as I say, there's another film in there, I think.
We have another film for Viviane.
Oh, good. I must recommend you to find the first 2 films because they are a brilliant companion piece to Gett in every way.